The rich get richer as Kirby Smart and the Georgia Bulldogs land another five-star elite edge defender, this time Damon Wilson out of Venice, Florida, 6'4", 235, elite pass rusher off the edge, one of the best defenders across the country. Big-time pickup for the Dogs. They're loading up on edge defenders. That's what you have to do if you want to have an elite defense. Kirby Smart knows how to build an elite defense, and he knows that you have to get after the quarterback. This guy can do it. He gives Georgia their third edge defender in this class. Sam Mpemba, another five-star out of IMG Academy. You know all about him by now. Gabriel Harris, former Georgia native, Thomas County Central, tried to go to Valdosta, didn't work out, went to IMG Academy. He's another 6'3", 6'4", 240-pound pass rusher. Damon Wilson, though, one of the best. I'm watching some of his clips now, and I mean, just lightning quick off the edge, delivers a punishing hit time after time. 4-3 defensive end, 3-4 outside linebacker, can play standing up, can play with his hand in the dirt. Anything you can ask this guy to do, he can make it happen. Quick, lightning quick hands, strong hands, gets off tackles, can bend and flex, beneath them. When you watch him play, you think, oh, that's how it's supposed to be done. This guy gets it. He's a natural, and he's only going to get better, working and developing under Coach Drebe, Coach Schumann, Will Muschamp, Kirby Smart. All these incredible defensive minds are going to make sure that he develops into the best player he can be. So Nolan Smith gone, Robert Beal gone. You still have Chaz Chambliss, Marvin Jones, Micah Williams. I think it's going to move in, but this is a guy who could be used in a lot of different ways. I don't think there's one specific way to use him. He can play outside. He can play on the edge. He's going to have to, develop, that ability to stop the run, hold that point of attack. Don't let the running backs get outside. Force them inside for guys like Jamal Jarrett and those inside linebackers to come downhill and make a play. So I think he's got all the potential in the world. There's a reason he's a five-star guy. I think one site, 247 Composite, has him as the number 13 player in the country, number 2 edge defender, number 4 player in the state of Florida. That's elite. He has the potential to continue to add weight too. I think he's at 235, but he could easily put on 10, 15 more pounds and be the same type of player that he is. But when guys just know how to time the snap the way he does and live in the backfield in every play, you're around the quarterback, around the running back, attacking the ball carrier, and just finding your nose to the football. That's a football trait that's tough to be taught. He can still work on his development overall, hand placement, technique, different ways to get off blocks. He's already a natural at doing it, especially at the level he is at high school. I mean, he was just unblockable. What are his stats? I had him right here. 94 tackles, 10 TFLs, 10 sacks. He was just harassing quarterbacks left and right. There's not an offensive tackle in his region who we went up against that can handle him in one-on-one situations. You're going to need help from a tight end. You're going to need help from a running back on a guy like this, especially on third down, because when he's coming after the quarterback and he knows that's the only thing I have to do right now, I have to attack the quarterback, he can get there. So can he be an every down, edge defender, linebacker, defensive end, whatever you want to call that right now? Because he can do a little bit of all of that, right? And, whatever they need him to do, I think he has the raw, natural athleticism. That kind of didn't make sense. But he's raw in the fact that he can still get better, and he can there's a lot to work on, but he's a natural because it already looks easy, if that makes sense. But the film is there. He flashes consistently, always making a play on the quarterback, and he makes it look easy. I mean, he's throwing guys away, easily. Like, he's barely doing anything. So, again, I don't live in Florida. I don't get to watch him on an everyday basis, but people that I, work alongside, people I know who are down there that have seen him play a lot more than I have in person, because you have to see these guys in person to really be an expert on who they are and what they bring to the table. Everyone loves this kid. They say, as he continues to grow, put on more mass and muscle, like I mentioned earlier, and continue his development and learn how to get off blocks from former 5-star offensive tackles who are now playing in the SEC and are doing a good job, future NFL guys. How do you beat those guys on a consistent basis, not just offensive tackles in Venice, Florida? So he gets after it, and there's a reason that, Georgia went after this kid. There's a lot of edge defenders across the country. They have 3 of the best. Damon Wilson is one that they've targeted. They got him on campus twice for the Auburn game, for the Tennessee game, and that's when I was told Georgia has a real chance of landing this kid. And I said, that's great, because I've been here in Ohio State all fall and throughout the summer, and, for a while I thought he was halfway committed there. But, so I said, okay, let's let the visit, kind of wear off. I know he's going up to Columbus for Ohio State, Michigan. That did not help the Buckeyes' chances at all. And then in December, that's when I was told, okay, Georgia's going to have the lead here between, development, coaching, the ability to win, along with NIL. I mean, you have to admit, you have to talk about NIL. If these kids think that, don't think that there's not going to be an opportunity for NIL, you can cross them off the list. These kids want to experience that as well, along with being developed and coached and being given a chance to win and go to the NFL in 3 years while making a little bit of cash on the side. Georgia's a program that offers that to everyone. Even backups are getting NIL deals at Georgia. The Classic City Collective, they make it easy for guys to find a way to get involved and get opportunities. So I do think that was a big selling point, a big, deal in Wilson's recruitment. And Georgia was able to make it work, showing him the possible opportunities that he has available to him. So I'm not saying he's going to come in and play early. Again, they've got some other quality outside linebackers, guys who can get after the passer already. But he's going to at some point. I think all of the guys that they signed in this class in 2023 are going to be able to showcase what they bring to the table and get on board and possibly see the field earlier, especially next season. If they're just dominating guys and teams left and right and the game's over at the half, you're going to see a lot of these guys try to see playing time, as I get a message from a very, very close source coming through my phone on a player that I've already talked about. Awesome. But that'll be updated on Dog Post. But Damon Wilson, again, number 13 player in the country. That's elite. That's an elite defender. He's not super long, but he's strong. He's quick off the ball, and he's got, looks like he's 25 years old. He looks just like a man against boys at the high school level, but he's a big deal. Winning a battle against Ohio State as Ohio State, they've pumped out defensive ends, left and right. The Bosa brothers, Chase Young, they know what they're doing as it relates to developing and getting guys at this position to come in, make an impact, and go to the NFL. So for Georgia to beat Ohio State for a guy like this, a guy that I thought had Ohio State leading for a while, it's a really big deal. And if you watch the film, you can get pretty excited about this kid coming to Athens. This is a big deal. I think he's the highest ranked signee right now in this class, which says a lot. He's like the third or fourth five-star guy, depending on what site you look at. You should be looking at Dog Post. But I don't feel comfortable ranking these out-of-state kids. I'll rank all the in-state kids, the guys that I get to see with my own 2 eyes, but it would be unfair for me to try to tell y'all that this kid in Florida that Georgia's recruiting should be higher than this kid from Texas that they're recruiting. I'm trying to be as honest as I can, and I'm not an expert on guys that I don't get to see with my eyes multiple times each year. Damon Wilson's not one of those guys, but he's someone that everyone speaks highly about, and I know folks down there know that Georgia's getting an outstanding football player who could push for playing time if he can continue to just add on more weight, mass, and muscle, and continue to work on his craft and learn different things and, be coached up. His best football, I think, is still way ahead of him, and that's a scary sign considering that he's already 5-star and one of the best players in America. So big deal. Georgia's loading up right now on elite defenders in this class. One of the best defensive classes I've seen Kirby Smart sign. Maybe the best defensive class when we look back on this class in a few years and say, wow, they got Damon Wilson and Samuel Mpemba coming off the edge in the same class. They got Janelle Aguero at safety, AJ Harris at cornerback. The 3 linebackers I've said for months and months and months. Those guys are fantastic. 3 of the best in the country. CJ Allen, Raylan Wilson, Troy Bowles. This defense has the potential to again, continue Georgia's, I guess, tradition now of being one of the best defenses in college football. They have been for the past 5 to 6 years now. They're elite right now, and I think with this class and the addition of Damon Wilson, they're going to be elite for the next few years as well. Guys, thanks for watching these videos. I really appreciate it. Hope you learned something about Georgia's newest 5-star commitment. Massive pickup on signing day. Damon Wilson, 5-star edge defender, commits and signs with Georgia over Ohio State.